Good morning, children. Welcome to Komundo Group of Schools. Today we are here to discuss about a war between two wars, that is World War I and World War II. So, and here I am going to describe a few things about World War I and as well as World War II. So, before going this topic, World War I and World War II, so let us see. So, what are the factors that paved the way for the outbreak of World War I and as well as World War II? And Eric Hobsbawm, a famous historian, and he called this World War I and World War II a great extreme period. Extreme in sense means in between 1900 to 1950, and a great disaster has taken place. That is a man-made disaster. The disaster happened in 1914 and as well as in 1939. So 1914, that is between 1914 and 1918, World War I happened, and from 1939 to 1945, World War II taken place. So that's why Eric Hobsbawm, he called this period, especially 20th century, as age of extremes. The reason is not only World War I and World War II, and some other political, social and economic changes had taken place in a revolutionary way in the starting of 20th century. And for example, on a political point of view, and most of the European countries, they started to dominate the majority of the world, especially the countries like Britain, France, Germany, Italy, like these countries, and they competed each other to establish their influence as well as their authority over the world countries. And as well as USA, one of the largest countries in the world, and it also emerged as superpower in the starting of the 20th century. Well, because in sense means USA not interfered up to 1939 in World War I as well as in World War II. So that USA emerged as superpower. And one more thing is USSR, or otherwise we call presently Russia, and largest country in the world in area. And it also emerged as a predominant country in a political point of view. So likewise, this is the best examples in political wing where so many countries, they competed each other to establish their influence or what we called as an authority over other countries. This is one angle. So after the completion of World War II, and a major development has taken place, that is the countries which are get ruled by Europeans and they won their independence, and as well as the colonialism almost all get extinct. So this is what we call it as one more political development has taken place. When you come to the social point of view, and the labor, they got an opportunity to enjoy their rights, which where they are working in factories or in industries. Prior to this one, labor welfare is very scant appearance. But after this one, and labor got an opportunity to get their rights and as well as welfare measures by demanding this industrialist or what we call as a capitalist. That is the major development has taken place in social point. Another thing is women got an equal opportunity, that is right to vote along with men. So prior to this one, even the countries like USA, Britain, France, where they emerged as in democratic countries, but unfortunately in these countries women not allowed to cast their vote. But it all started to happen after the completion of World War I and as well as World War II. So almost all after completion of World War II, majority of the countries in the world, and they started to entrust right to vote for all the women. So that is one kind of change has taken place. And the most negative thing, another negative thing that has taken place during this period, that is the Great Depression. So depression is nothing but economic fall down. Economic fall down in sense means where entire economic condition of a country or in the world will completely undergo some changes. The best example, presently the thing which we are facing, Corona, where most of the countries they have become sufferers not only health point of view, but in economic point of view also, a lot of suffer is there. So same such kind of suffer has taken place during 1929 or 30 period. So this depression first started in USA before, after the downfall of stock market. We will discuss the topic later. So with the downfall of the stock market, so the economic condition of USA was completely shattered. So with this impact extended to the majority of the countries. Even India, who was under the control of British at the time, also faced several consequences during the period of Great Depression. So this is one kind of negative thing. So that's why Eric Hobsbawm, he called aptly the 20th century as age of extremes, where both positive things as well as negative things has taken place in a very extreme way. So now I am presenting on the board just a simple picture about these causes of World War I. So if you see individually, for World War I some causes are there, and for World War II some causes are there. Now let us see what are the major causes for the outbreak of World War I. So for major causes of World War I, and simple for understanding way, we can make it as like this. So for understanding purpose, and we can make it as a manual. So manually, these are the five causes that are responsible for the outbreak of World War I. So then, what is mania? Mania is nothing but militarism. We call it as a militarism, and A means alliance. A means alliances. N means nationalism. And I means imperialism. And A means assassination. A means assassination. So these are five which we considered the major causes for the outbreak of World War I, and that is we call, for understanding purpose, we write as a mania. M militarism, and A alliances, and N nationalism, and I imperialism, and A assassination. So let us see what is this militarism. So militarism is nothing but where most of the European countries, top European countries, they competed each other to strengthen their military power. So military in sense means not only infantry, that in sense means soldier in number, but also increasing or piloting of their arms. Arms means the most deadliest arms. And these countries, especially 6 countries in Europe, they competed each other to increase their military power. So that is what we call it as a militarism. And the next one is alliances. So alliances, this is the most important and as well as a key factor, key cause for the outbreak of World War I. So we will discuss in detail about this alliance. So alliances is nothing but a kind of secret alliances emerged between these European countries, due to which entire Europe get divided into 2 groups, namely Treaty of Entity and as well as Treaty of Alliance. That we will discuss in detail. And next one is nationalism. Nationalism, sometimes we call it as an bringing or inculcating togetherness among the people, we call it as a nationalism. Or what we call, simple, we call it as a patriotism. Inculcating patriotic feelings among the people, we call it as a nationalism. But in Europe, what happened, instead of this nationalism, the fervor of nationalism will go some extent in a negative way. That is what we call it as an aggressive nationalism. We call it as an aggressive. Aggressive is nothing but one kind of adamance, or what we call as an overpower of national feelings among the people that started, especially in Germany and as well as Italy. Their leaders and as well as rulers, they started to pour some more aggressiveness among the people. That in sense means with the help of this nationalism, we can rule any part of the world. Such a kind of negative feelings they started to impose among the people of Germany and as well as in Italy. So this turned in a different way. That is what we call it as an aggressive nationalism. Aggressive is nothing but which is in attacking in nature or over patriotic feelings. We call it as an aggressive nationalism. And next one is imperialism. So imperialism is nothing but it is a kind of desire to conquer other countries or to establish their authority over other countries. For example, Britain. So Britain have desired to establish its influence on different parts of the world. Especially it occupied India and as well as it occupied Burma. Almost all countries in the world, 3/4 of the countries in the world went into the control of Britain. So this is the best example of imperialism. Sometimes this imperialism also referred as colonialism. So whatever it may be, colonialism or imperialism, it is one kind of a political attitude where these empires they want to establish their influence over other countries. This is also we call it imperialism. And the last one is assassination. Assassination is nothing but before the starting of the World War I, on 28th June 1914, the Austrian Prince Archduke Ferdinand was murdered by a Bosnian soldier. So due to political aspects, we will discuss that also in another. So assassination, it happened on 28th June 1914 at Sarajevo, then the headquarters of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So with the killing of Ferdinand, and Austria got angered and they served an ultimatum to Bosnia and Herzegovina to surrender the person who are responsible for the assassination of Ferdinand. But when Bosnia and Herzegovina hesitated in submitting or in surrendering the person responsible in the assassination of Ferdinand, immediately on 28th July, that is almost all 1 month after the incident, and Austria declared war on Germany. So with this one, immediately Bosnia and Herzegovina, in order to get support, and Russia come forward and they extended their support this Bosnia and Herzegovina, and to support Austria, Germany come forward, and like one and one countries they come forward and extended their support. Unfortunately, this is an issue between two countries, that is Austria versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. But unfortunately, with this interference of Germany, Russia, Britain, France, and parting on each other, and this two countries issue turned into a great war that is called as a World War I. So sometimes the assassination of or murder of Ferdinand, sometimes referred as immediate cause for World War I. So it happened on 28th June 1914, and with this on 28th July 1914, Austria declared war on Bosnia and Herzegovina. So with this the World War I started. Almost on August 1, officially the World War I started, and it continued up to 1918 November month. So this is what we call the gist of World War I causes. So in the next part, we will discuss World War II. So before going to that one, let us see. So alliances. What is that alliances that played an important role for the emergence of World War I? Okay. The causes of World War I in a graphical way. So as I explained earlier, mania. So in mania, first you see M. M means militarism. Militarism means it is a policy of building up strong military forces to prepare for war. As I explained earlier, militarism in sense means most of the countries in Europe especially top countries like Britain, France, Russia, Germany, Austria, Italy, like such countries, they started to compete each other in piling their arms, most deadliest arms. This is what we call it as an militarism. And the next one is alliances. Let us see alliances. Alliances is nothing but agreements between nations to aid and protect one another. That is what we called as an alliances. These alliances we will discuss in detail. So, what are these two groups of countries that formed during World War One in a graphical way? Let us see the nationalism. As I explained earlier, nationalism in sense means it is a pride or devotion of one's country, or simple we called as an patriotic feelings. Expressing patriotic feelings on one nation, we call it as a nationalism. That is a good positive factor, but this positive factor may not be responsible for the outbreak of World War One. Then, unfortunately, this nationalism turned into aggressive nationalism. As I explained earlier, some countries like Germany and Italy, they started to foster these national feelings in a very negative way. So this paved for the outbreak of World War One. So that is what we called as an nationalism. And imperialism. Imperialism in sense means, as I explained earlier, where one country started to express its desire or its authority to establish their influence over other countries. That is what we call it as an imperialism. For example, already I quoted one example, that is Britain. It started to establish its influence on almost all major countries in the world. That is what we call as an imperialism. This imperialism sometimes referred as colonialism. And the last one is assassination, and this assassination sometimes referred as immediate cause for the outbreak of World War One. So what is this assassination? Is nothing but murder of Austrian Archduke Prince. So this Austrian prince Ferdinand, after coming to the power, and he expressed his desire to annex. Annex in sense means to join totally Bosnia and Herzegovina into the territory of Austria. So with this, Bosnia and Herzegovina, their self-respect get damaged, and they started to involve in a political glitch with this new ruler, and this led to the murder in the form of killing or assassination of Ferdinand and his wife Sofia when they visited Sarajevo, and this led to the outbreak of World War One. So let us see in detail in a graphical way the pictures once again, the causes. Let us see the causes once again. So this is the way in a picture way we can express that one. Here we are. Let us see these causes once again in a graphical way. So the Great War and causes. Let us see the causes that include underlying forces and as well as events. So what are these underlying forces? Underlying forces, as we discussed in a simple way, that is mania, that is called militarism, and next one is alliances, and next one is nationalism, and next one is imperialism, and the last one is assassination. So let us see once in a graphical way. So what is this militarism? So militarism described as the glorification of military power. And the next one is alliances. So what is this alliances? Alliances occur between two group of countries. So these alliances we call it as an triple alliance and as well as triple entente. Triple means three countries. Alliance means holding relations. Entente, that is a French word In French, entente means a group or what we call as an alliance. So let us see who are included in this triple alliance and as well as in triple entente. So triple alliance consisting of Italy, Germany, Austria. These three countries referred as triple alliance countries, and triple entente referred as France, Britain, Russia. So triple entente made up of three countries, that is France, Britain, Russia, and triple alliance made up of Italy, Germany and Austria. So let us see another region, that is what we call it as nationalism. Already we discussed what is nationalism. Is nothing but a positive angle. So which is the recognition of common. What is commonality? So common language, common culture and common history. So nationalism is nothing but which is striving to attain togetherness or feeling about a nation, a common language speaking, common culture and as well as common history. This is what we call as a nationalism. But no doubt nationalism helps any country in attaining unity. But unfortunately, what happened in the case of European continent, that some countries, especially Germany and as well as Italy, they started to foster this nationalism in a very negative way. So it branded as a aggressive nationalism. Aggressive is nothing but imposing one kind of negative feelings among the people, especially in Germany and as well as Italy, to fight against their alliances, that is especially against Britain, France like countries. After this nationalism, one more cause we will discuss in a mania, that is M we covered, A we covered, N we covered. Let us see I. So what is this I? I means here, as we discussed, imperialism. So imperialism, which is the policy of extending the rule or authority of an empire over foreign countries. This is what we called as an imperialism. As I discussed earlier, and I quote examples, the best example is Britain. So Britain have desired to extend its empire to the large part of the world. So due to which it has an opportunity to occupy 3/4 of the world. So this is what we called as an imperialism. After seeing the success of Britain, rest of the countries in Europe, they also started to extend their empire, such as Britain after France and as well as Italy, Germany, like such countries, they competed each other to extend their power. So this is also one of the factor for the outbreak of World War I. And the last one, as I discussed, that is called assassination. So what is assassination? As I already discussed it, and assassination is nothing but the Archduke Prince of Austria was murdered by a Bosnia and Herzegovina's soldier. And when Austrian Prince Ferdinand, after coming to the power, he have desired to occupy entire Bosnia and Herzegovina. So with this, the self-respect of Bosnia and Herzegovina get hurted, and finally one of his fanatic soldier and he involved in murdering of Ferdinand. So with this incident has taken place on 28th June 1914. So with this, Austria got anger and they served an ultimatum to Bosnia and Herzegovina to surrender the person responsible in killing of Ferdinand. So when Bosnia and Herzegovina not interested to respond to this ultimatum, finally on 28th July 1914, Austria declared war on Bosnia. In support of Bosnia, Russia come forward and extended its military support. To give support to Austria, Germany come forward, and like same things, Italy, Germany, Austria, they formed one group, and Russia, Britain, France, they formed one group. Like issue between two countries unfortunately turned into World War I. So this World War I continued from 1914 July 28 to November 18, 1918. So with the surrender of Germany, the World War I came to end. So this is what we call in a graphical way the explanation of World War I. Now let us see in another pictographic way this triple entente and triple alliance. As already we discussed, alliance that formed between these 6 countries. The 6 major countries in Europe get divided into 2 groups. So one group we call it as an triple entente and another group we call it as a triple alliance. Let us see in this picture form. So who are included in this triple entente and as well as in triple alliance. So in a year form. So first that alliance taken place between 2 countries, that is Germany and Austria, and finally later Italy also joined in that group. So up to 1882 that group we called as an dual alliance. Dual alliance means that is between 2 countries, that is Germany and Italy. So with the joining of Austria, and that dual alliance turned into triple alliance in 1879. So that is between Germany and Italy, that is called dual alliance. With the joining of Austria, the dual alliance turned into triple alliance in the year 1879. So let us see the countries of triple entente. So triple entente formed in the year 1907. So before that one, it is dual only between 2 countries, that is France and Britain. So in 1894, France and Britain, they made alliance, or what we called as a relation, that is called as a dual entity in 1894. In 1907, Russia also joined in this group. So with the join of Russia, it turned into triple entente. As already I described, what is the meaning of entente? Entente means is nothing but a friendship or a relation. That is a French word in French language. Entente means relation or friendship. So in graphical way, now we discussed or we came to know, so what are the triple alliance countries and triple entente countries. So in the middle we have Bulgaria or Serbia. Already I discussed that one. Between Austria and Bosnia, a war has taken place due to the murder of Austrian Prince Ferdinand on 28th June 1914. So unfortunately, this is an issue between 2 countries, but later it became a bone of contention in emerging of World War I in the year 1914 July 28. So this is the gist about one of the major causes for the outbreak of World War I. Okay, students, up to now we learned this topic in a picture or in a pictographic way, in a very clear way, and hope so you all understand the topics, not only theory but in a pictorial way. And tomorrow we are going to learn about World War II and the causes, main causes for the outbreak of World War II. And I hope so you all utilize this time in a very opportune way and don't misutilize this one. This is a rare opportunity given by our management in maintaining our time in a very proper schedule. Thank you for giving this opportunity to the management on this occasion. I am bringing to your notice, utilize each and every time and each and every minute for the success of this online classes. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.